My carrot. I packed a carrot for lunch and he took it out of the bag. Okay. Can I have my carrot back, please? Please, can I have my carrot back? I know, I think it'll get better up here. I know. It'll get better. Man, you gotta be on your game out here. That was scary. I just fell face first into like a little ravine. Luckily I got saved, but I fell like down into there and this little guy's following me. Oh, you just never know. Like, you can never underestimate nature. I know there's a stream right here, but whew, close to the stream. Oh boy. Let's see what this guy does. Nope, smart puppy. Smart boy. You do not want to get wet. You do not want to get wet, do you? Oh, just kidding. Okay. Hey, let's go this way. All right. So we've been hiking about, I don't know, 45 minutes now. And we're getting further into kind of where I want to be, at least away from anything at all. And this guy is just doing great. Man, it is just so peaceful out here. Here we go. This looks pretty good. Yeah. All right. Nice clear area in here. Oh. Quite a bit of shelter. It's flat. All right. This guy's already being a crazy man. He's just trying to rip every stick off every tree there possible. Okay. I'm here with this beautiful tree that is going to give us shelter. This is in an emergency situation kind of a thing, and you are out, your snowmobile breaks down, your car breaks down, you're in the cold. I know I've been there plenty of times, and you know, this is just kind of like a short-term thing. So the first thing that I want to make clear is, if you're going to make a tree well bunker, make sure that it is not on a hillside. If it's on a hillside and there's not much snow, fine. But if you're on a steep, or not even steep, maybe any more than 20 degrees, and you're on a hillside and you're trying to make a bunker, well, there's absolutely risk, for one, of you having inclined snow take you and bury you, which is always a risk. And then the other risk is avalanche. An avalanche could absolutely just come down and swoop you up. So that is the last thing that we want to have happen. So today I've found a moderately flat area, and I'm going to take you guys through the process of what I would do and how I'm going to build a tree well shelter in the wintertime. So, what are you barking at? There a bear? Uh-oh. What do you see, buddy? I don't see anything. That's the other eerie part about being out here. Sometimes you don't know if you're gonna get stumbled on by a mountain lion or a bear or whatever. But you know, I'll protect myself as best as I can. And this little guy, got the snowshoes off, got this guy. I have no idea how he still has so much energy, but he's just going after everything. So the first thing you want to do is try to find some branches or something that's dry to keep everything dry. That is the #1 priority. If anything gets wet, you are pretty much not doomed, but then you have wet stuff and then it gets cold, then it freezes, then you're kind of screwed. I brought a camping mat. This can keep you warm for a little while. The goal here today is to dig down to the dirt. I'm gonna see how deep it really is before we can get there. We made it down to the dirt and we're at the base of the tree. What I was mentioning before is that a solid note is to follow the base of the tree, because that will lead you to the dirt quickest. It's the closest to the ground. if you can dig down and get down all the way, I'll begin to clear out the rest of the area. But if you can get down to the dirt, it equals not as much wet and not necessarily not as much cold because the ground's super cold as well, but you're just better off. You're more likely to stay dry and you're more likely to have a more comfortable stay. So in my opinion. So I'm gonna keep digging this out, get some more dirt out of here, and all right, making a little bit of progress here. At least got the majority of the area pretty much down to the dirt. I want to build it up a little bit more. I'm going to put some more snow up to these branches, kind of wall it out a bit, and then we'll pretty much have the setup for the base camp, or as far as like a base camp goes, like a generic thing. Don't get me wrong, you could sleep here just how it is with a sleeping bag or at least some warm clothes, but definitely want to make it like super proper and make it right.
Hi, thank you.
The next thing that you're going to want to do is just try to find a dry surface. I know this is pretty basic. I'm not really trying to make some pimped out, shelter that I'm going to live in all winter. I'm simply just trying to share some knowledge that if you find yourself in a sticky situation, you can use clothes, towels, yoga mats, whatever. This is a camping pad, but you can use anything really to just try to find a dry surface, because anything but you laying in the wet ground, wet snow, is super beneficial. Laying here under the tree, it's about, I don't know, middle of the day sometime, and look at that, we got the whole entire shelter all laid out. Yeah, I mean, it's just super important to make sure that you have at least some supplies. Even if you're just driving, like I said, like you get stuck in a snowstorm on the side of the road, and you're just gonna at least wanna make sure you have water, some type of warmth, and always be prepared, always. Whether it's just having like a Swiss Army knife or anything, you just always wanna have something that that can protect you or keep you alive. I wanna make a disclaimer here as well that tree wells are extremely dangerous. I have friends that have actually passed away from tree wells. Mostly the risk in tree wells is that, yes, sure, there's the risk of being buried, but mostly with skiing and snowboarding, you can go in head first and there's simply no way out. And I have friends that have passed away that way, and it's terrible. So don't think that tree wells are all fun and dandy. You gotta be really careful. So we're being extremely cautious here, digging down to the dirt. This guy keeps taking all the firewood. All right, we made a bit of progress here. We've got all the snow piled up around the sides, which is ideal. For the most part, we're blessed by this massive tree with all these branches on it, so we're likely to stay pretty sheltered. And he's still trying to get this stick. He's just relentless at it. The mission is to collect firewood. We gotta get enough firewood to keep us warm later when it starts getting a little bit colder. There's that middle time when it's like 6, 7, 8 o'clock where you're not quite sleeping yet, but it's still really cold. This guy wants all the sticks. All the firewood, he's barking because he thinks that they're there for him. So I have all of them hidden up in the trees. So we got pretty lucky here with it being a fairly warm day. The grass has kind of thawed out, or the ground, I should say. And you can see I hung this mat up here just to keep it dry. All right, it's starting to get a little bit colder outside. It hasn't really exactly been sunny all day, but it's starting to cool down. I'm gonna start working on putting together some little scrap pieces of wood, get a little fire going. Look at that jaw, just going for it. Oh. Nice. You just can't get enough over there, can you? My feet, we were getting super wet on our hike, so I'm gonna try to warm them up a little bit here. Oh, it feels so good. Got the pup relaxing, got the fire going, just making it super mellow, super small. You know, no need to go nuts with it. It's just enough to keep my hands warm and keep it safe, keep it under control. Here. You want it? Go get it. I'm gonna start unloading my pack here. I brought a sleeping bag for the pup. It's on top there. And then I got another one. Let's see. There. So one of those is gonna keep me warm, and I'm gonna use this big one for this guy. We all need warmth. Even though he has a fur coat, it still gets extremely cold out here, and he's not a husky. He's just a little 1-year-old pup. Just kind of laying out our beds here, so before it gets dark, we can kind of see what's going on. All right, you got the pup, got the fire, got me just laying down here in our epic little tree fort, but it's more of a tree well shelter. This tree well shelter would definitely save your life. Absolutely, in a snowstorm, this is the spot that I would want to be. So the cool thing about wet wood is that once you have the fire going, you know, this wood is like completely wet. But if you have the fire going already, obviously it's key to find dry wood to start it. But once it gets started, then you're golden to throw some wet wood on there. See, the sun's going down, but you can't really see when it's going down because it's been cloudy. But it's definitely getting darker. The light is going down, and I'm just chilling. Got the sleeping bag, got our little fort. If it starts snowing, we got the little bank that I built here, and gotta thank this lovely tree for keeping us safe. So kind of from the outside, you can see this place livens up at night. No, just kidding. Yeah, I mean, this is kind of the surrounding perimeter. That's what it looks like from over here. Oh yeah. It's funny, like I wish there was more exciting things to film, but this is more of a survival video than me going and doing some, you know, super fun activity. I mean, this is fun, I'm having a blast, but at the same time, you know, this is more about what would you do if you found yourself in a situation where you're in the snow and you need protection quick. Then find a tree well. And if you can't find a tree well, maybe I should do another video on that, is, you know, depending on how much you believe it's gonna snow that night, then, you know, dig a cave. Your body heat can actually keep a snow cave warm. So if it's just snow, you're better off that, especially if it's windy. You know, you'll get out of the terrain, you'll get out of the elements, and you're better off in the snow inside, depending on if you have warmth and stuff around your skin, because, you know, skin on snow, you're gonna get frostbite pretty quick. So anyways, for right now, here we are, and we're having a good time. All right, it's obviously getting a little bit darker now, and just taking it easy, trying to get this guy to calm down, but he will just not stop. But once he stops, he passes out. All right, well, there's not really that much more to talk about. We're pretty much just camped out for the night. I'm gonna put this guy in the sleeping bag here in a second. And you know, it's a funny thing in our world, like growing up and stuff. I remember like some people or like friends used to make fun of me because I'd go to bed at like 9 o'clock instead of they'd go to bed at like midnight. And now it's only like 6:30, and I've been going to bed at like 6:30, 7:30, whenever the sun goes down, really, because if you think about it, like, I don't know, I think if there was no such thing as time on this planet and we kind of just did whatever, I think that it makes sense to, you know, be awake and do what we want to do during the day, and then obviously get rest during the night when the sun goes down. So I've been implementing that into my own life, and then getting up when the sun rises, and it's been super beneficial. I love it. It absolutely just feels like, I don't know, it just changed my whole world. It's kind of like indescribable, but I highly recommend it. And what I'm getting at here is I'm gonna wait a little bit longer, have a little bit more enjoying this heat, because I know it's not gonna last like that. It's supposed to get to like 15 degrees tonight, so which is not that bad. I mean, I'm surrounded in snow, but you know, I'll take all the warmth I can get because I know it's gonna get pretty cold here. We're just laying down here, and basically I wanted to just say before I go to sleep that it's really important, obviously, a couple key points that I would point out in this video. One is just making sure, however you possibly can, is to protect yourself. So that means warmth. Stay warm. If you have the ability to make a fire, make a fire. If you have the ability to dig out a tree well, dig out a tree well. Or if you're in the snow and you have the ability to dig down deep enough so you hit the dirt, do that. So that's one. Protection, staying warm, and then the other thing is staying dry. You know, if you have those things covered, you're set. And then the most important thing is staying calm. If you can stay calm and you do not panic, then you have absolutely nothing to worry about. So just stay calm. Do not freak out. Know that you're gonna be all right, and trust that you're gonna be all right, and all is gonna be fine. My fire is going out. I'm gonna have to bust some magic here. All right, guys, I got some stuff to deal with. My fire has officially gone out. Oh man, I'm getting smoked out. I gotta put this crazy man to bed, get him to calm down, come over here, put him in the sleeping bag. It's sometime in the middle of the night, and I don't know if you can see this, but he's standing up and trying to put his butt in my face. Yeah, it's definitely cold out here. You know, you always want to prepare. Fire's gone out. It's too cold to get up and make the fire. So, you know, just staying calm is super, super important. And then, yeah, just the more prepared you can be, the better. All right, I'm gonna try to go back to sleep here. I got some body warmth from the pupper, and yeah. It's been a long night. Oh boy. Oh. Good morning. He's over there taking a dump. Oh man. Oh, I know. This guy denied the sleeping bag about midway through the night. Oh boy. Oh man. It's like 6 a.m. and yeah, the fire went out. As you can see, even snow came through the branches, but for the most part, you know, we got like quite a bit new snow. I mean, at least like an inch or two, and we definitely were protected by it. Oh man, it's cold. I'm like trying to make this fire again. No ashes. No, definitely not still hot. All right, let's see here. Oh, there's our little zone. Well, guess what? We lived. We made it. Yay! Oh, starting to get a little bit brighter now, but you can see these beautiful trees have snow on them. It's actually still snowing. Oh, it's so cold. This is what makes you so grateful. Like, we're just gonna start getting out of here. I mean, it's snowing. I think we've had enough. This guy never has enough. So I turned the camera off last night because you know how I know from my snowboarding days, like if the battery gets super cold, it won't last. So I shut it off and kept the batteries in my pockets. And I was afraid this morning that it wasn't gonna turn on, but it did. And yeah, it is so cold. It must be like 0 degrees out. All right, we left it all clean for the next traveler that might find our little bunker and need it. Got my bag all packed up. This guy is still relentlessly chewing on sticks, but we're gonna be on our way out of here. So, all right, throw this on my back. Let's get out of here. Now you can see it's definitely snowing. It's starting to come down way harder now. Whew. Man, look at those trees. So beautiful. It's dumping now. All right, I'm gonna put the camera away. This snow is like really difficult to walk through, and we got a ways ahead of us, so I'm gonna make some progress here. What's interesting to me is that even though it's snowing, the creek crossing that we found is actually melting out, which must mean that the snow is not actually that cold. It must be pretty wet snow. You just will not stop, will you? Oh my gosh. What does that tree think about that, huh? What if you were him? Would you like that? Didn't think so. This is a really deep section. Bye, camp. We'll miss you. It's been a long morning dealing with this crazy guy. I'm gonna let you guys go. I love you all. I'm gonna make sure I get out of here. Don't sink anymore. Don't fall any more rivers. Thank you so much for watching this. I hope it added value to you in some way. I really appreciate it. I had a lot of fun, and it's always a pleasure having you along with me. So I just wanted to film this more. It's just dumping. What are you doing? Oh man. See what I'm saying? Like, this has taken us a long time. Wow, you're doing great. It is just dumping out. We gotta get out of here because we don't know how much is gonna snow. We wanna make sure that we protect ourselves, right? And get out of the elements, yeah. All right, buddy, say goodbye. He says, thanks for, hey, I want your glove. Thanks for watching.